respected guests, special invitees, resource persons, teaching and non-teaching staff, the organizers and the sponsors. Dear students, a very good morning to one and all present here. It is indeed my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all on this one-day seminar on forests, people and law in connection to the celebration of one Mahotsav organized by School of Law, Pondicherry University, Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, and Office of Green Campus, Pondicherry University. And this is jointly organized by Directorate of Forests and Wildlife, Government of Puducherry, and the Art of Living. Trees and forests play a crucial role in maintaining the ecological balance and providing oxygen to this human being on this planet. On this note, Vana Mahotsav, an annual tree planting festival celebrated in the month of July, in which thousands of trees are planted all over the country. And this is mainly celebrated to spread the awareness of forest conservation and to save our environment. And with this backdrop, this one-day seminar on forest, people and law will generate a platform not just to create awareness, but also to discuss, deliberate and share knowledge on the forest rights, the wildlife protection, catering towards sustainable future. Now I request Professor A. Chellaperumal, Dean in Charge School of Law, Pondicherry University, to formally welcome the gathering.
Very good morning to you all. Respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh Ji, who is presiding over this One Mahotsav one-day seminar. Respected Madam Mrs. Vanjanavalli Sridhar, Deputy Conservator of Forests, Government of Puducherry, who is going to inaugurate this program. Dear Professor Ramurthy, Head of the Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, Dr. M. Nandivarman, Coordinator of Office of Green Campus, Professor Shivakumar of Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, my dear Deans of various schools, Head of the Departments of Pondicherry University, and faculty, scholars, students who have assembled here, not only from the university departments, most of you have come from the affiliated colleges. I welcome you all. First and foremost, I welcome on behalf of the organizers, School of Law, Department of Ecology, Office of Green Campus, and also on behalf of the Directorate of Forests and Wildlife, Government of Puducherry, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh Ji. See, under his able leadership, many good things are happening in the university. One of the most important fronts related to this program is making this campus greener and greener. You would have seen the developments that are taking place in our campus. More and more trees are planted under his able guidance. Not only that, you would have seen the massive solar campus, solar energy devices are installed, and water conservation pits have been made. So many things. Only some examples only I am citing. And he himself is the protector and lover of the environment. And he is leading us for all that an educational institution should do, not only in the realm of excellence in education, but also in creating the awareness that are good to the society. Not only good to the society, good to the humanity. One such thing is the protecting the environment. You have to protect the environment in all possible ways. One of the things that our country is doing to create this awareness is observing one Mahotsav festival every year in the month of July. It has been started since 1950. Every year, all the government institutions, schools, colleges, they are all doing it. So this is one such event. For this event, our Vice Chancellor has come here to preside over this function. And next I welcome on behalf of all of you, Madam Mrs. Vanjulavalli Sridhar, IFS, Deputy Conservator of Forests. See, I have seen so many forest officials in my long academic career. Basically I'm an anthropologist. Every year we take students for tribal studies, ethnographic studies. So most of the tribes, they live inside the forest. I have had occasion of dealing with the forest officials, but I tell it is not a flattery. I have not seen such a finest officer like Madam Vanjanavalli Sridhar. It is not a flattery, because I know how forest officials deal with the people, especially tribes or forest dwelling communities, how they would be having dealings with the people like academicians, teachers or students. So in my experience, I have seen such a wonderful forest officer who is so kind enough and encouraging all that are needed to the students community so as to get created this awareness. And I have to make a small point how this very program, genesis of this program, I want to convey to the audience. See, you all would have seen in the month of June, there was a public call given by the Forest Department. Whoever wants to do any event, program or competition can come and approach the department, and department will be willing to collaborate, sponsor, help. So like that, from Pondicherry University, only one person or only one department which has approached is the School of Law, and it has been approved by her. Not only approved by her, she has advised me, since it is you are going to do on forest law, why don't you include other related departments? That is the reason why Ecology came forward, and the Office of Green Campus came forward. And not only that, from that moment onwards, I was having discussion with all the faculty of the School of Law, and also with I had several meetings, informal, formal meetings with the professors, faculty, senior faculty of School of Life Sciences and also Ecology. That is the reason in that connection only such a wonderful program has been conceived, and now we are seeing the fruits of it.
As a token of our sincere and humble gratitude, we would like to honor our guest of the day, and I request Professor A. Chellaperumal, Dean in Charge School of Law, to kindly give the shawl to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh, and Dr. Nandi Varman to give away the gift to our Vice Chancellor. After joining in Pondicherry, Madam has taken great initiatives, especially the 24/7, which is very celebrated one, the 24/7 snake drive and the snake protection campaign, and many more towards spreading the awareness. I now request Madam Vanjulavalli Sridhar, Deputy Conservator of Forests, Government of Pondicherry, to kindly deliver the inaugural address, ma'am.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Respected Vice Chancellor, Pondicherry University, Professor Gurmeet Singh ji, Professor Chellaperumal, Dean, School of Law, Professor and HOD, Dr. Ramurthy, Department of Ecology, Dr. Nandi Varman, Dr. Shivkumar, the respected guests, deans, faculty from various departments of Pondicherry University, and all our guests who are here today from various campuses, students, and of course our event co-sponsor Art of Living, and our event support from Doordarshan. It is with great honor and pride that I welcome all of you to this event today. Sir, thank you for those very kind words. And so he's been talking about how we conceived this entire seminar. So, one Mahotsav is celebrated across the country in the month of July. This basically, marks the onset of monsoon, marks the onset of planting season. Although Puducherry is in the coastal area and we receive more from the northeast or the retreating monsoon, yes, we have also been receiving rain. You must have seen the difference in the weather. So we wanted to celebrate one Mahotsav, and this year we have combined it with Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which is our 75th year of independence. And we've made it more than a month-long festival. So we're going to culminate all our events on the 15th of August, and we actually began them on the 1st of July. So this seminar here, we wanted to address especially forests, people and law. So the reason for picking this is this interaction, like for a common man, if he knows what is acceptable, what is not, what is legal, what is illegal, if that clarity is there, I think that is more than enough for us to each contribute to the protection of this environment. So basically, most of the mistakes that we all make is because of ignorance. But law does not give us the exception that ignorance, lets you get away scot-free. So that's not possible. And it is our duty to be well informed. So this is one attempt at giving you the required information, because in a lot of fora, people ask me one question. We live in Pondicherry. It is a city and land is a great resource. There is a huge competition for land. It is greatly valued. There is no reserve forest. So how does one protect or conserve or promote forest or green cover or tree cover? How do we do it? So today is one such attempt at conveying the message that it does not matter where we are, it does not matter who we are or what we do. Very small things, very small things if we pick up, we bring it in practice, that is more than enough in protecting the environment. That is enough from our side. As a common man, as a layman, if we just, accept the fact that yes, a bird also needs a tree. We don't have to cut the entire tree, maybe just trimming would help maintain the tree as well as the building. So these sorts of small inputs are required, and this is one such attempt, and I humbly request all of you to make good use of this platform. And sir also mentioned, that how accommodating we've been in dealing with academicians and students and giving this platform. It is very simple because I was on the other side not very long ago. So when I was a researcher, I was pursuing MSc in wildlife biology. Not to stereotype, it's not like forest officers are rude or anything, but yes, they conserve their forests very passionately. Everybody is very protective of their identity as a forest officer. So I have been through that process, and I know how much it would mean, one small window of opportunity to each of you here. Maybe you'll all very soon, get really inspired and even give an attempt at IFS, who knows. So this is just to show you what is available, what options are available, and how best we can all, pitch in to protect the environment, which is probably our number one requirement today. So with this, I thank each and every one of you for coming here today and lending us your support, because without you, this is not possible. And I once again place my thanks to the Vice Chancellor for supporting us in this endeavor. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
I now humbly request our beloved and Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh, to kindly deliver the presidential address.
Very good morning, friends. A very respected, young, budding, brilliant forest officer, Deputy Conservator, Mrs. Sridhar, Vanjavali Sridhar to be precise, and our Dean of the School of Law, I forget the right pronunciation I'm trying to, but Professor Chalo Paramil, let me just name the half. And then Mr. Dr. Nandi Barman, our ecology head, Professor Ramamurthy, and Professor Shiva Kumar, they are on the dais, and all other Dean of Management here, and all other professors sitting here. I don't know where to begin. This is, I need not highlight the importance of this. You would have all read it in newspapers, magazines, TV programs. And these days, even if somebody doesn't find time to read newspapers, which is a dying habit, Let me tell you, I was interviewing people for faculty recently, not for one, for many. And Mrs. Sridhar will be shocked when I tell that people did not know the name of the president of the country. Believe me, this is a hard reality. And they were saying Narendra Bhai Modi is the president. I said, then who is the prime minister? He said, Amit Shah. Not one, couple of people answered that way. So that's why I thought I'll begin here by saying that this is a very important aspect of your life that you ought to read and ought to keep yourself informed about what is important. People think that going to university or going to temple or doing your daily rituals, obviously eating breakfast and gossiping, listening to music, that's not all. These are also important, but keeping yourself aware is equally important. And if that you do, probably you can think of what Mrs. Sridhar said, that you can try have an attempt at Indian Forest Service, which is a very enjoyable service, let me tell you. When you talk to many forest officers, majority of them would say that, you people go for honeymooning once in a lifetime for 3, 4 days, 5 days here and there. And we are all through our life honeymooning all the time because they are in beautiful locations, wherever they are, and they are talking to forest. They speak to forest. They enjoy forest. And this is where throughout their life they do this. And probably it is through their efforts, I'm saying and I'm emphasizing, it is through their efforts that our country is surviving, let me tell you. Otherwise, we would have been in an absolute doldrum the way we started cutting trees. I'm talking about, if you look at the data, I don't know how many of you would have seen it, 47 we became independent. That time people were settling here and there. And 52 onwards, look at the data, you will be shocked to see. 52 onwards, the way our forest cover declined in between 52 to 60, it is horrible, let me tell you. After that we woke up. And it is this Forest Service officers who came on in large numbers and they started guarding at their personal risk. There is an entity in the Forest Service called Forest Guards, large in numbers, but with limited armory they have. The way they stood guard, I think it is an amazing thing. And some of those in 60s were the ones who were awarded Padma Shris and all. Let me tell you, this is how we started looking at forests. We had scant respect for this. We will cut trees at will. Nobody would bother. And let me take you down the memory line because I love reading a lot. And I've read a lot of books about forests. There is a recent movie also which has become very popular if you have not seen. Tiger, I think the name is. What is that? Sherni. So I would urge all of you to see the way these people are duty bound in their work. Had that been the case in all services, I think we would have been 100 times ahead of what we are now. I'm not saying we have done very badly. We have done wonderfully well. We would have been still faster had we been doing the kind of thing that you will see in this movie. So this is how the things moved on. I will not dwell on in between what happened. And we were totally blind about environmental laws. I am talking about as late as 1986, 87, 88. People would cut tree and nothing. That's about it. Well, it was my tree, I cut it. Who the hell are you? And police will say, well, it's not. 1991, let me tell you, since it is a School of Law seminar, Professor Ubendra Bakshi I heard in one of the important seminars giving a talk. And he said, law fellows will know who is Professor Ubendra Bakshi, one of the legal luminaries. And he said, there are all kinds of laws being made. Laws of murder, laws for various kinds of problems. But there is not a single law we have started making about environment. This is the first time he coined this word, environmental law. And you will rarely find a paper being written or you would have read anything on this earlier than this. So he said this should be done. And after that, the law, the environmentalists, ecologists, biologists, they all got together. And let me tell you, this is the hallmark of our people. Once you kindle a spark, throw an idea, then they start working very well. This is absolute brilliance of Indian mind. And we did so very well in the next 2 to 3 years Between 91 to 94, the way laws were framed, you cut a tree, there were very stringent punishment which came in. You want to cut a tree, you have to take a permission. All those things came in a very, very strict, stringent manner, that a time came when you have to cut one tree, you have to plant, now it is 10 or 50? 10. Now I keep telling my friends that we don't have to live on these laws. We don't have to depend on these laws. We don't have to depend upon forest officials. Why should Mrs. Sridhar be telling you that keep your campus green? Are we not intelligent enough? Are we not? But where comes the importance is once she tells, it should move into your heart that yes, we are duty bound. I keep telling everybody wherever I go and wherever I get a chance to tell, that every individual is a forest officer. You need to look at your surroundings. Don't expect that Mrs. Sridhar will be the one who will be going around Pondicherry to see how things are being looked into. Only forest officers will be responsible for this. Each and every individual should feel concerned that any tree which is dying, which is not in good shape, I think we are duty bound to look at that tree like our own child and to bring them up. I feel very saddened when a tree dies. Recently I hauled up my staff who looks after the things in my own house. I said, if one tree dies, I am not able to take food for 7 days. That is the way we should be concerned about this. And the way we ignored this, you may not take it lightly, the way we ignored this in the last 20 days, 20 years, not in our country, I'm talking about worldwide. You are seeing the results of those. Europe, which had never seen temperature beyond 32, had gone up to 35 in the last 2 years, and this year they have crossed 42 degrees. Now our country is geared up for that. Our railway lines, our electric poles, our road network, we are designing everything to withstand up to about 50-52 degrees centigrade. But their things are not that way. They have never designed anything beyond 40. The result is that their railway network is cracking. Their electric network is cracking. And that is resulting in lot of calamities, forest fires, floods, water not being controlled, bridges getting cracked, railway lines getting cracked. So this is the result we are all facing because of negligence of this one area. And if I want to cut it further short, I would just say the balance being disturbed. If I am requiring some food, my friends in the forest also require the same thing. They also need a place to live. And if water has to go through a cycle, they also need their own requirement of having green area, plants, everything. So if this cycle is disturbed, you will find we are in for big problems. And all these that we are facing these days is a result of negligence of this area. Therefore, I would urge all of you, some of you may be taking it very lightly, and I have seen when I am making a comment, somebody was laughing, that what is it that he is talking about? Well, let me tell you, I have a meaning in this, deep-rooted meaning. If you neglect this, let me give you an acid test. Wherever you are staying, if you have a 100 square yard house and there are 4 or 5 plants there or 1 or 2 trees there, water them, nurse them, look after that. In all sincerity, you will find, I am telling you, you can, this is a test I am giving it to you. You try doing this, you see the kind of positivity that comes into your life. I am not saying you are going to get a lottery of 1 crore, but positivity will set in. You will feel happier, you will be able to focus on your work, you will have a better, happy married, happy family life, you will be better in dealing with your neighbors. And the other side, take a case of somebody who neglects this, doesn't bother about the surroundings. In one's own house, I'm saying, don't go far off. You see the way that character will be irritated all the time. He won't have good digestion, he will have blood pressure, he will be fighting with neighbors. I'm just telling you, this is a test, it's not difficult to carry out. Look at your neighbors and you see the way things are. It will start. And if you have not done it, start doing it now. We all have to look at it. When some trees had become dead here, I got them painted beautifully in all the sites. Now, when I drive through this, the paint has withered off. Those trees also, somebody has put a nail, somebody has put something. We are not bothered. Nobody has ever, I have not done it, let me tell you, deliberately. I wanted to see who comes forward to say, sir, let's have it repainted. It looks better. Nobody. We are negligent. So I urge all of you to start looking at your surroundings straight away. And let's not say, oh, this is the duty of the forest officer. No, it is everybody's duty here. And if you all feel concerned, they will be supported. And if they are supported, they'll be able to render better service. So we are, during last Independence Day, I'm doing this because there are a lot of students who need to be guided. I said every individual is a nation builder. Don't expect that leaders, MEs, MLPs or police officers, they are the ones. When we do our duty, in whatever way we are doing, we are a nation builder. That's what everybody contributes, let me tell you. And if everybody contributes to the best of the abilities, 1 billion contributions will be there to this. That's what is needed. And that's what I tell everybody. Whatever you are doing, if you are painting, do it properly. If you are a student, do it properly. If you are a teacher, do your work properly. That's what is needed. And forest area, forest cover, maintenance of forest, keeping them in good shape is a very important aspect. It cannot be undermined. And I'm glad that School of Law took this initiative, along with the School of Ecology and our Green Cover chairman, master or leader or whatever way we want to put it. He's always on the move. He comes to my office very often. So we want to do this. And I don't think I would have ever said no. It is a different thing. It might have taken a little longer because of the sleepish attitude of some of our officials. Some of the fellows, let me give you an example. I don't mind mincing words. I don't mince words. I don't mind putting it in a very blunt manner. We have colleges in Andamans, and they also are looked after by us. They are having some problems, and that problem is persisting for the last 3 years. They keep on writing mails and sleepish attitude. And don't expect that I'll be the one who will be pulling their ear every now and then. They'll say otherwise. When I do that, oh, he's a very ruthless fellow, doesn't respect the staff. So I said, you come over here. I called one of the staff members. Come over and I will call all the fellows and I'll ensure that everything is done within 2 days. So that fellow came, that assistant professor came here with all the problems. 3 years these problems are persisting. And let me tell you, I'm not exaggerating. If I sit on the table, if I take more than 60 minutes, you throw me out of the university. That's the situation. But, sir, he didn't give me this. Sir, he didn't do that. Sir, that college did not upload. They don't realize they are in an island. Connectivity is a problem. They would have tried, they would not have been successful or whatever. They will not realize that. He didn't do it, therefore I'm sitting idle. 3 years, not 1 or 2 days. Should he not be hanged? Should he not be punished? But when I do that, then the whole lot will come, sir, why are you doing this? Why should I not do this? So I said, do it. I want this to be done within the next 6-7 hours. They did that, but 30% of the work still remained. And that fellow had to leave back for Andamans without getting 100% work done. 30% was not done. They said, sir, so-and-so didn't do that, so-and-so didn't do that. I told a section officer, if you sit there, how long will it take? But sir, I'm not supposed to do that. I said, okay, hang on. I will come there and sit on the table and show you how long does it take. If it takes more than 20 minutes, then you can call me by any names. And today afternoon, I'm going to go to that examination branch, call that fellow and I'll sit on the computer and do it myself. I want to do it. Even if he says, no sir, we'll do it, I say, no, I'll do that. I'll punch and put the marks. So for that work, that fellow had to return. These people said, sir, next 2 days we'll do this. Why 2 days? Why not? Fellow has come all the way from that place. Why not do that? Do you think my hands will become smaller? No, but it is the attitude. So this kind of an attitude we need to develop. Sincerity, dedication we need to develop towards forest also. I'm glad they have organized this particular program. It is very important. And if we start looking at this aspect of our life in all sincerity now, you will find our country will be a safer place to live. We will not face what people are facing in Spain, and you have seen the worst fires in Australia and California, USA. Worst fires. I don't know how many animals lost their life, but have you ever thought of a data that in our country we have never had so far, despite such a high temperature all over, those kind of serious fires? Have you ever heard of that MP jungles getting that kind of a severe fire anytime? No. The moment it happens, our guards, our officials are alert enough and we are able to control. This is the beauty of our country. Something which Spanish and Australians and others could not do it, we have been doing it for years. That is why it is important. And our temperatures are not 35 degrees, 40 degrees. We have places in our country where it goes to 52 degrees also. Delhi also had 49 degrees last year. So these are the things we should be proud of. Our electric circuits don't break in that temperature. Our railway lines don't crack. Signal system doesn't get disturbed. So when we have all these things inbuilt, all that we need to do is put plus 1% more. That's what I urge all of you to take care of your surroundings. If anybody does any damage to any tree or any plant or anywhere, catch him, advise him, guide him. And if you do that, by word of mouth, our place will become still better. We are very good. Our forest cover is now increasing. It is on the rise all over, which is a heartening feature. Our wildlife we are protecting very well. Project Tiger is an example. Everywhere we are doing very well. Now Jumbo we were losing, and there also we have started some protective measures by which many elephants will be saved. So we are very careful. You have seen the way we are protecting our crocodiles. Everything is being looked into very properly so that ecological balance is maintained. I want our young friends to rise up to the occasion and move in a direction that this also is taken care of. I compliment all these our departments for taking a lead in organizing this physical seminar, which is the second of its kind, after that most unfortunate pandemic that we faced. I wish we don't face that kind of a thing ever again in our life. That's the prayer you should do. And I'm particularly grateful to this young officer, Mrs. Sridhar, for supporting us in all our endeavors, whatever we do. I don't think she has declined or refused. Last time she was here, we were, what is that program called?
Green Protocol for Wetlands.
Wetlands. So there was a program on wetlands which they supported, and it has taken off very well. And this also is supporting. I am sure our campus, which is already one of the greenest campuses in the country, would become still greener, and people would long to come to Pondicherry. I have yet to come across a person in my own circle in academics and civil services and policing and wherever. I have yet to come across a person whom I would have said I am here and who would have said he doesn't want to come. They all die to come to Pondicherry. They all say it's a lovely place we want to visit. Anybody who is invited here, he would say, yes, I'll come. I have never seen anybody saying no to this. That's the beauty of the place you are in. So we are duty bound to protect it. I've taken a little more time. I should have started with the apology of my being late here, but that was beyond my control. Let me tell you, there are a few things which you can't explain. And that led to this slight bit of a delay, for which I'm sorry. But then please keep all these things in mind so that we create a better place for all of us to live and to let others also live and to show the world that, well, we are the guiding spirits in this direction. We are, there is no doubt about it. And therefore, we have to tell them further that, look, in the pandemic, the number of deaths that we had were minimum because we were following certain protocol. You were not doing it. That's why you're going to have this. Today, if you have read the report on this monkeypox, they said India is going to have the least effect of this because we were having the chickenpox vaccination till very late, and that's going to be a protective thing. So we have shown them that our protocols that we were following are meaningful, and whatever we are doing in this area also is going to be meaningful because what you are facing, we have never faced. Therefore, we need to protect all this, and we have to work together. Let's join hands and support the department so that they are able to serve us better. Thank you so very much, and enjoy yourself. God bless you.
Each one of you are forest officers. Yes, sir, we remember these words and we'll start thinking greener from now on. Sir, as usual, we feel energized and activated after hearing you speak. Thank you, sir, for all the support that you have been giving us, the support and the inspiring words, those positive thoughts to inculcate and disseminate to this young generation here. Thank you once again, sir. I now request Professor K. Shivakumar, Professor, Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, Pondicherry University, to kindly convey the formal vote of thanks.
Good morning, everybody. Happy one Mahotsav to everybody. It's a very interesting thing this year is we are celebrating the 75th years of our independence. Actually, the one Mahotsav also celebrating the 75th years of initiative. Formally, we started this program in 1952, but in 1947 itself, before independence, 3 weeks before the independence, this program was actually initiated in Delhi, and our in charge of the Prime Minister, Sri Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, planted the first plant on the program, and later on the Lady Mountbatten planted another plants in the Kudipuna. That was this program started. It's very interesting because 75 years we are celebrating. Why, as many of our speakers spoken about the celebration, the reason is we should celebrate the presence of the forest, the trees. Excellent. First, let me convey my thanks from my heart, that because whenever I listen to a speech of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, everybody gets energized because he always tells 2 points whenever he speaks. One is he invites about the people to visit Pondicherry. He says that the moment people enter the Pondicherry, they will feel some kind of vibrant energy. He always tells this. Second point he makes is visit the university campus. This is the 2 points he always makes whenever he speaks. I also met him and I joined this university only recently in January, briefly couple of minutes. Still I remember the words. He told something about the conservation. I was really amazed as a wildlife expert. Today also he spoken about the in-depth knowledge about the linkage between the conservation, biodiversity conservation and the development. Because in the country right now, many policymakers think that biodiversity conservation versus the development. It's an unfortunate comparison, but actually biodiversity conservation is one of the development sectors. Many don't believe that. That's what we have to try to do that. So I really thank you, sir, for your energetic words and motivating the youngsters to do this plantation. As sir mentioned, whenever it's possible, if you can't plant a tree, at least protect a tree. That's very amazing things he mentioned. And then another person, I know Madam Mrs. Sridhar, more than 12 years now. When she was serving even before became a forest officer, I know her very well. She was one of the best wildlife student. She is another motivated person because she did mention about that if anybody interested to join the IFS. It's amazing service, I'm telling you, because this is the one service deal with everything. That's why the topic was given, forest, people and law, because this is the only service deal all three, link all three together. And her motivating words, and then this is the first time in the Pondicherry, because I'm born and brought up in Pondicherry, although I took a break of 23 years out of Pondicherry in between. But the first time I'm seeing that the one Mahotsav was celebrated in a big way, that the entire credit goes to Mrs. Vanjalavalli. So thank you very much, and supporting the Pondicherry University to organize this program. And I also thank your colleagues, your team members who are sitting here, because they are arranging all the logistic support to organize this function. So thank you all for this. And then my colleague, Professor Chella Perumal, as a Dean, School of Law. He was very much in, it's not only the forest, he is actually interested in something nature. He's passionate about the nature. When he was talking with me about the first time when we discussed about this program, we had a lot of plan, and then finally we come to this plan. And he was so much of enthusiastic and interested to do something for the nature. I really impressed about his interest on the, because we expect something from our own department, like Department of Ecology and Environment Science. So he had this equal interest, and of course everybody should have equal interest because this is something nature. We are directly linked to that. So I thank you, sir, for your guidance and since beginning from the planning stage to till today. And also I thank your colleagues and your team who worked a lot, and all of them, thank you very much for all your support for these functions. And I thank my own department faculty colleagues, especially our HOD, Professor Ramamurthy. He always motivates me. So always with the support of, do anything. Sure, you do everything. I support you fully. So this is the word he always mentioned. So sir, thank you very much for all your support. And also I thank, this is something very interesting to talk about Dr. Nandhivarman. He is the coordinator office of Green Campus. It's very interesting because Department of Ecology also, with the kind permission of the VC, we are going to initiate the campus biodiversity monitoring program with the help of all the inmates of the campus. About 6,000 inmates, we are attending everyday campus. So we are going to initiate this program. The students from the Department of Ecology will be the coordinator. They will be actually facilitating all the inmates who are living in the hostels or the quarters or in the day visitors to the campus. Anybody can contribute. That the data will be hosted in the website. So now this is the office of Green Campus is there. Hopefully they will take a lead and coordinate this program. So I thank Dr. Nandhivarman for all your support and cooperation. Of course, I must thank you all for, because we're having a semester break, but still I could see a lot of my colleagues, all the dean, HODs and faculty members, research scholars. Thank you very much for attending this function. So we request you to at least do one tree plant in our house. That would be a great achievement and happy we'll be. And also I must thank all our staff, Pondicherry University staff, for supporting this program, to organize this program. And most importantly, I thank my media friends, both visual and print media, because your contribution is great. As our VCs have mentioned, awareness is the key for conservation of biodiversity in our country. We'll be going to defeat the China very soon with respect to population density. So in that situation, the demand will be more. And because it's not the population increasing, we are increasing our GDP also. That means everybody wants to have a luxurious life. So it's just a mere population increasing, so okay. But we want a comfortable and luxurious life. That put more pressure on the nature system. So we have to create awareness among the people to live along with the nature. So in that, the media plays a critical role in creating and spreading awareness. Thank you all for your media friends for coming all the way to covering this message. So once again, I thank you all for attending these functions. Thank you very much. Thank you.